The Buffalo Olmsted Park system is undergoing a renaissance. Thanks to both public and private resources, it's being restored to its original vision to ensure that the hallmark of Buffalo's urban landscape will thrive well into the future. Placed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1982, it is designated as one of the most outstanding park systems in the United States. The park system was conceived in 1869 by landscape architects Frederick Law Olmsted Sr. and his partner, Calvert Vaux, the same pair that designed Central Park in New York City a few years earlier. Olmsted's vision included a series of parks throughout the city, interconnected by a ribbon of green parkways and planted traffic circles, the first of its kind in our nation. In the original construction of the first 3 parks, only 4 buildings were built, each designed by the famed architect Calvert Vaux. These included the boathouse at Gala Water, later known as Delaware Park Lake and now Hoyt Lake, the Spirehead Gazebo, also overlooking the lake in Delaware Park, the Parade House at the Parade, later Humboldt Park and now Martin Luther King Jr. Park, and the Vaux Barn and Horse Shed, part of the Parade House complex. Only the Vaux Barn remains standing today. It is the last original park building and the last remaining structure designed by Calvert Vaux in the city of Buffalo. However, during a redesign of the parade in the late 1890s by Olmsted's sons, the barn was sold and moved a quarter-mile across the street to private land where it still remains. Over the years, the Vaux Barn has suffered neglect, but retains a great deal of its original integrity. With your help, the Buffalo Olmsted Parks Conservancy wants to bring it home.
It's especially important to save the Vaux Barn because it is now the only remaining original structure from the first period in the parks. In fact, it's the only Calvert Vaux building left in all of Buffalo. The whole Buffalo Olmsted Park system is on the National Register of Historic Places, and therefore the idea is to preserve and restore that original design to the greatest extent possible. With the Vaux Barn, we have an opportunity to restore part of the original plan to the park, and also at the same time we'll be able to reintroduce a functional building that will be much needed for the maintenance of the parks that has been missing from this park for over 100 years.
As the earliest park structure to survive, it deserves to be preserved, protected, and restored to a site within the park where it was originally built. Returning the building will provide much-needed additional space for park operations by repurposing the barn to serve as the hub of our Green Jobs Initiative, becoming part of the greenhouse complex, where we grow more than 18,000 annuals and perennials for use throughout the parks.
The greenhouse where we are today is immediately adjacent to the site of where the Vaux Barn will be relocated. The Vaux Barn, as a new facility in the park, will be a place for training of those summer personnel who are going out and working in the park. So it will be an essential part of the operation of the whole park system.
It will take a 3-phase process to save, restore, and return the Vaux Barn to productive use. Phase 1 will be to acquire and move the barn onto a new foundation at its new site. Phase 2 will restore the barn and renovate it for park use. Phase 3 will remove the existing metal storage structure and build a replica of the horse shed for equipment storage, connecting it to the existing and restored 1904 shelter house. The swift completion of Phase 1 is absolutely critical. The property on which the barn now sits is up for sale. We have a very short window to save this treasure for future generations. We must raise the funds to purchase the building, stabilize it, and move it to its new location on park grounds. Because of its construction, moving it in one piece is the only viable option to preserve the historic structure. Time is of the essence. This is a once-in-a-lifetime chance to save a piece of Buffalo history. Failure to raise the funds in time means losing it forever. It's not just a barn. It's part of our grand past. It's the last remaining original structure of Buffalo's historic Olmsted Park system. Become a part of history. Help us save this treasure and bring the Vaux Barn home.